So, on the web, on the internet, where people read and write, for me, the web is kind of like, stop that. It's sort of like everything I wanted from shortwave radio, but never could learn Morse code. And shortwave radios are more expensive than you think. But overall, there are people identified I want to be friends with. And most of them, right lately, well, before it was the engineers at CR4, I got banned. I cursed and I left the words there because I was that angry about how the administration before might have been flinty and a lot of trouble, but at least I understood where they were and we could go on. These women he gave it to, he had to protect later. They shut down, can we make a better government, which was an engineering thing. I found out even better later after finding out that it was Henry Robert, the hydraulic engineer, wrote Robert's Rules of Order. So I keep looking for best practices, and I really want to be friends with the people at Naked Capitalism. And I process things as much like a poet as I can, so I get it down to and it's got to be kind of fun. Fun to think, the idea of the life of the mind. So I read that thing, a brilliant piece by this man, Gerald Epstein, and he's an economics professor at Mass U. And I'm at the end of what my notes are, where it's counterparties, assuming the government will bail out again banks and their counterparties, and their shareholders, and their investors. Should not assume, that's what Dodd-Frank's supposed to do. The goal is to make sure people don't get the idea they're going to get bailed out every time, but then they're too big to fail. And the point for the Fed and all of it is to really keep the ability of the United States financial system strong enough to be able to issue fiat reserve currency. Otherwise, you're basing it on the petrodollar or gold, is the way I understood the whole game and progression of things, and that's why I worked on creating an insurodollar just based on human capital, which would ought to make the independent, libertarian types happy, because as opposed to communism, the insurance value of everybody sharing equity is still applying to their insurance, so that they die and they leave a family inheritance, which does, for the aristocrat, give them the responsibility to do good works. Like the corporations had permission to be corporations because they did public good. But the Federal Reserve has considerable power to keep fiat currency viable. That's my note to the other points. And you got to set the setting. This goes on, we call it Wall Street. They're trying to blame it on shadow banks and get away with not being noticed for 476 billion, 100 millions of dollars. That's 100 millions of dollars. Billions, right? Is that right? Because I never had enough money. And then trillions would be thousands of millions. But if they got that much, and then Bank of America got, why did they need that? And so that was, I worked backwards, and these are the notes of the process I got. Financial Crisis Inquiry Commission gave facts, and Krugman just had his opinion. So best practices, what were they? They were Glass-Steagall. That was simple. Now it's supposed to all be some individual basis for whether or not it's a complete threat to the entire financial system again, and at some point there's an international community to consider. So firm banking allows you to print the money on nothing but from the trust in the money, the best regulations, the best banks, all that stuff. Best practices in banking, I want to know them, so when I finish setting up Transcendia, a Friendia,